You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
In Kingston, Jamaica, staring at an absolutely incredible sunset. But we all know what's coming in the next couple of days. Every hazard when it comes to hurricanes is on the table, from storm surge, major hurricane with winds exceeding 150 miles per hour, and flooding. Not just any kind of flooding though. Hurricane Harvey levels of flooding. I've spent the day going throughout the city talking with people, lifelong residents, to see how they're trying to prepare for Hurricane Melissa.
Based on the projections that I'm seeing, yeah, I think it's gonna be awful.
Jamaica's been writing about hurricanes since the 1500s, but this one, Melissa, could be the worst in modern history. Despite centuries of close calls, Jamaica has never taken a direct hit from a major hurricane. But in the Caribbean lately, that history doesn't matter. Last summer, Hurricane Beryl ripped across Carriacou, Grenada. It was the strongest storm that tiny island had ever seen. Melissa could bring that same fury or worse. So I went to one of Jamaica's oldest and most vulnerable villages to see what it means to face that kind of fear head on.
What's the plan?
Not moving to right here.
I'm in the tiny village of Port Royal. It sits out in the bay on a tiny sliver of land near Kingston. Now, it is a very vulnerable location. It's very low-lying. Again, just a thin sliver of land. But the folks who live here, despite being under a mandatory evacuation, they're not leaving.
Right now.
Now, I'm wondering, like, even for him, he's reporting this. He's there, right? He's there. He's at this situation, okay? And they're getting prepared for something that's going to be worse than the likes of they've ever seen since 1988. All right, they're still sitting there going like, "I'm staying." What? Like, I'm sorry. I'm going to try everything I can to get the F out as quickly as I possibly can. Okay. What about y'all? Are you sticking around? Are you sitting there 10 toes down, holding fort, or are you going to try to seek higher ground? Are you going to try to, I don't know, find a bunker or something? Like, what do you know what I mean? What do you do in a situation like this? Okay. Yeah. So some people are refusing to leave. They're like, nah, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving here. It reminds me of what happened during the LA fires. Remember the LA fires where people were literally standing on top of their houses, hosing their roofs down, because they're like, I'm not going down without a fight. This fire is going to have to take me by my dead cold hand, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They said, F that. Not today, Satan. I'm going to stand right here. And Mother Nature's going to have to fight me to take my house. So now you got this going on, right? And people are sitting there going, nope, I'm staying right here. Me be staying right here. Like, what? No, I'm packing up. I'm out. I'm like, which one? High ground where? I'm gone. And if I knew this ahead of time, I probably would have booked some sort of flight out of town. Seriously, gone. I would have been gone. Scraped up every last penny I got to get a really cheap flight on Spirit Airlines and getting my boohooty out of that country as quickly as possible. Okay? With my loved ones. F that. I'll come back when the dust has settled.
I'm just here doing my ropes to go secure my boats.
Fishing here isn't just a job, it's a life, a tradition that survived for centuries. Deep water, small boats, a bond so strong they give these boats names. Ever done that with your work computer? The village sits at the end of a 10-mile-long, thin spit of sand. 2,000 people or so call it home, and few are ever willing to leave it. Their lives revolve around the sea. Their homes, their faith, their future, all tied to it. Darren's one of them. He's seen storms come and go his whole life.
Born and grow here.
So with Melissa, what are you guys thinking?
Well, as what we see, it's developing, but we're not really leaving. It's going more westward of us. So what we're really doing is just precaution that they take up the boats because of the storm surge and stuff. But we don't get much storm surge here. So we're inside a peninsula. The open sea's outside. We're inside a peninsula. We have 7 keys out there with a lot of reef. It's just like a barrier reef. You see, other people, they don't really know this.
People panic for you guys because you guys are just struggling.
Yes. They're full mode panic. Our high tide is 18 inches. Most we get water is right where you see the goats. Yeah. That's where the water will be coming up from the right, just right there. That's it.
Probably. That's right at your
ankle deep, huh?
He's not.
I'm hoping he's right. What he just said, he's like, yo, it's gonna stop right about here. It ain't moving nowhere, okay? Because of how these islands are set up, how everything is. Nah, we ain't gonna see anything that bad. It ain't gonna be that bad. The water's gonna stop right here. Just wait for it. I hope he's right. I really, really hope he's right. But this is whatever you're hearing everybody talking about it. They're like, oh, it's gonna be up to your ankles. You hear that? They continue. Let's play a little bit more.
No height. You're maybe down to your foot like that.
Wow. Ask the same question, get the same answer.
Crazy.
No one alive has seen a deadly storm surge here, or even water above the knees into the heart of the village.
So it's not like Port Royal has just remained unscathed throughout the decades from hurricanes. This was a foundation of buildings from 1951, and the hurricane that hit there clearly did not survive. But they've since obviously built other structures soon after, when the English were still in charge, like this building right there, and they've survived the subsequent storms since the 50s. But again, is Melissa going to be different? And that could be a problem, especially when it comes to hurricanes. People often base their decisions on what happened the last time. A decision that can obviously become tragic because the current storm, Melissa, could bring unprecedented conditions here to Jamaica.
Well, we don't have no flooding here, most likely. We just get high rise. High rise, the water rise.
The surge, yeah.
And the surge go but so far. And we deal with that over and over. So I don't take it that scary, you know? If like a tsunami, you know, or something, we would wash the whole goddamn place off. I'd probably get my ass out of here.
Well, I mean, that's what's in the worst case scenario storm surge will do. I mean,
right.
I've seen storm surge 17 feet in Fort Myers, Florida, where I saw houses being lifted away and carried away. You know,
right. We're trying to get the older folks. The more like every hurricane time, we try to move them out. The bus come, we ensure the older folks and the mothers and kids aboard the bus and leave. We as fishermen, we stay and monitor the village and keep ensure that everything is all right. I'm sure when the weather gets real serious, we have to stay in. We can't do nothing more than stay in till after.
And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you know, I think it makes a lot of sense that you have the elderly, the sick, the you know, the not as able, not you know, the ones that are not as mobile, that to bust them out of the area, right? It's better to get them out of the situation than to have them there, because what if they get stuck, right? So again, I'm hoping that they're doing all of that. I mean, they have well, you know, right now it's Sunday night, right? It's Sunday night. They still have tomorrow. Yes, there's going to be tropical storms. There's going to be flooding. There's going to be all kinds of stuff, you know, that is happening before the hurricane actually gets there. And that's if the hurricane actually stays in its trajectory. But I really don't think that this mother-loving hurricane is going to stop and just suddenly just bang a left. You see what I'm saying? Like, and just hit Venezuela. I know that would make Trump very happy. Okay, but I don't think that this hurricane is just going to stop and go, well, you know what? I'm not hitting Jamaica. I feel like we're just going to keep going left. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, I'm glad that they're doing that, but some people I think are taking some very, very ballsy choices, like this super chat here. It's Happy Days. Thank you so much for the super chat. Don't play chicken with Mother Nature. She'll teach you a lesson you will never forget. That is for damn show. Okay, that is for damn show. So again, man, I hope, okay, that whoever is out there that's watching this show, that is, you know, not watching this show, please be safe out there. Okay, literally, we got, you know, if you got time, if you're able to seek higher ground, seek that higher ground right now, immediately.
Holy cow!
Sometimes it takes seeing to believe. But disbelief isn't the only thing keeping people here. It's also the memories of what happened the last time they left. Promises of safety at the shelters inland that never felt safe.
A couple of storms ago, had some people who went to the shelter and the storm was passed off, and for weeks people is there, can't get no transport to come home, nothing like that, and stuff like that. So it is just it deters all these people to go there.
You can already see the waves being generated by Hurricane Melissa crashing along the coast here in Kingston, and it also points to the vulnerability I mentioned with Port Royal, the same tiny sliver of land. Well, this is where the International Airport sits here in Kingston. You can see the control tower there. So just 100 yards, a few hundred yards away from where these waves are crashing, the planes land. And it just, again, highlights the vulnerability here to the infrastructure of how close it is from these waves to the airport. And the unpredictability, of course, of what exactly Melissa is going to bring here. But it has the potential, of course, to be catastrophic and bring conditions that have never been seen here on the entire island of Jamaica before. Another vulnerability is right there, the Doppler radar. If you remember, Hurricane Laura, Category 4, that was shredded in Lake Charles from Hurricane Laura. So another vulnerability sitting just a couple hundred yards from the ocean.
Panic will never help, but preparation, meaning understanding what could be coming, that helps. Remember, a few miles matters when it comes to hurricanes. If you're closer to the center, you're going to get stronger winds. But Melissa's threats go way beyond the wind.
So when we hear Category 4, Category 5, major hurricanes, people really do think about the wind. But Melissa is a little bit different. It's not just about the wind. All factors, all types of hazards with hurricanes are coming with Melissa. So we have those winds. They're going to likely be above 150 miles per hour. But then you have to take into account the fact of how slow it's moving, which is actually very rare for a hurricane in this part of the Caribbean to move this slowly. But what comes with that is rain. Intense, immense amounts of rain. Talking on the level of Hurricane Harvey. Jamaica is a mountainous country. And so when this water falls on these peaks, it's going to rush down. And when it comes here into Kingston, it will hit these rivers and streams. And you can see these are all made into concrete and stone. And that's good because it lets water rush into the ocean. It's what they've done in Los Angeles, for instance. But this is not built to handle 25, 30, 40 inches of rain. These systems are going to be overwhelmed. Any system would be overwhelmed.
Across Jamaica.
Okay, that scares the crap out of me. I don't know about y'all. T Money, if you could send me that info, T Money, let me know. If you can email me that info, that'd be great. About Chi-Town, let me know. Yeah, there's some things we need to talk about. There's a lot going on here, y'all, and it's beyond Jamaica, but we got to talk about my Caribbean people, okay? Because I care for you guys a lot, and we all need to take care of ourselves. And all jokes aside, I mean, this is some scary stuff, especially when you break this down, when you hear this kind of stuff going on, when you hear that there are, that the infrastructure that they have may not be enough to handle what's to come. That is scary. That potentially the water could be so high that their infrastructure that they already have, things that they already have laid out, may not be enough, may not be strong enough to handle the amount of potential water flooding that could be happening in the country, okay, in the island. That is some scary stuff, all right? But like I said, it's scary. It's very, very scary. And the fact that, listen, some people like my Miracle Mama said it in the chat, and I got to be real. It's true. Okay. Myself, I was like, I just scrape every dollar I got, okay, to get a ticket out of town. Some people just can't afford that. Some people just can't afford that kind of ticket. Doesn't matter if it's Frontier or Spirit Airlines. Okay. They just can't afford it. And that's okay. But that's a reality, right? And so some people have no choice but to stay there and stick it out, which is terrifying, right? Absolutely terrifying. It's a terrifying thought. And so, I'm praying for everybody, because and here's the thing, I hope that they do exactly what they do all the time, which is they hype it up. They say, oh God, get ready. This is going to be the worst you've ever seen before. And then it just rains. You know what I'm saying? A few gusty winds, nothing bad. Everyone's alive to tell the story, but nothing bad. That's what I'm hoping for. And I don't know, in certain neck of your woods, I'm sure you have those stories of like, oh no, get ready for the snow apocalypse. And so you go to your local grocery store and all eggs, milk, and bread are gone. You know what I'm saying? Suddenly everybody needs bread, eggs, and milk. It's the one thing that everybody need. Okay? For some weird reason, those are the things to go first. Eggs, bread, and milk. And they're like, get ready for the snow apocalypse. And then it doesn't even snow. We've all seen that. Happens all the time. So I'm hoping that maybe they go, oh, damn, get ready for the worst hurricane in the history. And then nothing happens. Nothing. Just a hot mist. And that's it. I'm praying for that. And everyone prepared for nothing. I'd rather that than everyone preparing or sticking through something that is the worst in history. That's what I'm hoping. I really hope that they're wrong. I hope that they're wrong, you know, so that we all survive. But then it's like, you instantly think, well, what's going to happen afterwards? I instantly think about that too. You know, are other countries going to swoop in to help Jamaica get back on their feet if it was to be as catastrophic as they're promoting it and, you know, marketing it as, right? As how they're putting it out here in the news. Is it really going to be that bad? And who's going to come in and help the Jamaican people get back up on their feet? That's the thing I want to know too, right? That, yeah. I mean, hey, if it's really bad, it's really bad. I'm preparing for the worst, but I'm praying for the best, right? But I keep wondering, now is the time where people, you know, when you know about something like this, it's looming, it's about to hit, the powers that be, you know, the higher ups, the people that make these countries and this world go round need to start figuring out how they're going to help the country when the country is down. Just saying. And also, let's not forget this too. If they are correct and the trajectory of this Hurricane Melissa is coming through, and not only is she, you know, crashing Jamaica's party, but she's also crashing other islands' parties as well. I hope to God there's a plan set forth to help these countries get back on their feet, because this is not the time for this.
Jamaica, people are doing what they can. They're nailing boards, buying food, water, but now comes the hard part, the waiting. Waiting to see if the forecasts are right, waiting to see what Melissa really has in store. That wait will stretch into midweek, a slow, torturous silence before the wind starts to speak.
Anywhere you look in this beautiful sunset, you know that lives are going to be different this time next week.
I mean, I feel like, I hope he's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I hope all the forecasts are wrong. But, you know, it's been a while since we've seen forecasts or predictions of hurricanes not be to the level that they say they're going to be, right? It's been a while. So I'm hoping this is not one of those. I really hope it's one of those situations where they are wrong, but we'll see what happens here.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.